not to rank fan encounters, but do those fan encounters mean just a little bit more to you when they want to talk about movies like this?
Yeah, because the conversation immediately goes deeper.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Mr. Cumberbatch, an honor to see you again, sir.
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you, Jake?
I'm doing well, man. I got so many questions for you. I really think, as crazy as it might sound, one of the most relatable aspects of this film is Crow, because I feel like as an audience, we watch this movie and we can think of moments in our lives when maybe we wish he had actually showed up for us. And obviously, I don't want to get too personal, but I'd love to ask: is there maybe a moment on one of your sets during one of your performances where you most could have used Crow behind you talking to you?
I mean, I think we have a little bit of Crow in all of us. He is a manifestation of something internal for both the dad in this and also the two boys. I think the worst internal critics as well as the best, because he can be anything from Tyler Durden to Mary Poppins. He can be an amanuensis or a best friend. He can be, an agitator or a comfort blanket. And I think we all have that power within us. We can undo ourselves. We can bring ourselves back. We can hold the line, keep the boundary, keep things solid, but we'll also just be exposed to the wildness that this very imaginative and idiosyncratic reimagining of grief can bring. And I'm thrilled that you say that, because this is a very iterative story. And while Max's metaphor, Max Porter, that originally wrote the book and came up with this idea, it's very iterative. Loads of people have taken this story and adapted it in different ways for a start. But even the book itself has these blank pages or lines that are blank for, as Max puts it, for the reader to connect with, to pour in their experience. So yeah, Crow is weirdly very, very relatable. And anyone who's been through grief, and I do ask people who come up to me and say, "Thank you, the experience of watching this film, what I've been through." I've had the most amazing conversations with people. It's one of the most rewarding outcomes of this film. Um, but one of the things I ask is, "And Crow, how does that work?" And they went, "It works because grief is unruly, violent, comforting. It's all of those things that he is."
That perfectly leads into my next question, because you and I have had a lot of conversations over the years, and
You
we've
did.
talked
I
about.
feel like I cheated you on the first one because I didn't really say specifically. I have all the time on set is my answer as well. I have little voices, and I have to just sometimes lean into them, but often just displace them or expose them and share them.
I'm picturing you turning around to Crow and going, "Just shut the fuck up for a second."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because we all have that. Yeah, I was saying you and I have spoken a lot over the years, and we've talked about very big films. But I really love talking to you about films like this, and I would love to know. I know that there are projects in your life that people are going to talk about to you forever, fan interactions where they want to
Obviously.
talk about
Yeah.
Marvel or Sherlock or
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings or what have you. But when a fan stops you and they want to talk about a project that maybe isn't known as well, a smaller film, maybe one of your more quiet films, you know, a year from now, if someone stops to you and talks to you about this film, not to rank fan encounters, but do those fan encounters mean just a little bit more to you when they want to talk about movies like this?
Yeah, because the conversation immediately goes deeper. It just does. These are more challenging fare. They're closer to our everyday reality. And I don't know. I had an actor come up to me last night, brilliant actor. His name escapes me at the moment. Forgive me, because I was quite discombobulated and tired. And he's the lead bad guy in the series Black Rabbit on Netflix. He's a really, really talented dude. And he said, "This is the kind of stuff that I want to be doing. This is," and it's the same with me. The fare that really inspired me as an actor. Brilliant though the entertainment and the temple magicry of the larger fairies. It wasn't that made me want to be an actor. It was the stuff where the human condition was really under the lens, and there was a commitment in performance to bring authenticity to a moment that just flabbergasted me. It's always about that for me. It's always about connecting.
Again, not that I don't love talking to you about the big stuff, but the
Yeah, yeah.
conversations we have on these, this is why I love this
But I'm
job.
so grateful to the big stuff, not only because I think you can be nuanced in the big stuff, and you can also bring big stuff to the nuanced film. And this wouldn't exist in many ways unless a Marvel actor had decided to take a pay cut, obviously, and support it with his production company and bring it to life as an actor as well. So I'm hugely grateful for the other canvases that the bigger ones give me the opportunity to create.
And I'm grateful as well. I'm going to cut you loose on this because I was thinking about some of the incredible directors you've worked with over your career. You look at Wes Anderson and Jane Campion and Sam Mendes and Peter Jackson, Steven Spielberg. The list is pretty unreal. And this is a big question. Do you have a favorite piece of direction you've been given over your career?
In all honesty, I'd have to get back to you on that. It's a brilliant question, and they're so they're so unique. All of the people you just mentioned, you know, J.J. Abrams as well, and I and all the theatre directors I've worked with, Trevor Nunn, Richard Eyre, and Danny Boyle. You know, I can't, and it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. I think one thing that Jane gave me, which was a real keys to the kingdom moment, she said, "You don't have to be yourself in this at all. I'm giving you full permission to be this character. And I will explain that so that your ego, your sense of self, isn't awkwardly interacting with the idea of being that person with the day-to-day people who are going to make this work, your crew, your fellow cast members." So I said, well, that's the only way it can work for me. If you just explain that they'll meet me on wrap or at the weekend or, you know, at the end of the show, but on the day I just have to be this guy because he's so far away from my lived experience. And the sense of freedom that gave me, it was still very intimidating to sort of walk on set and kind of own Phil Burbank as it should be. He's a very intimidating character to try and step into, but it was a phenomenal vote of confidence in allowing me to just live it a little bit longer, to reach deeper with it. And she got rid of my sense of apologetic shame and embarrassment, the sort of slightly English, "Oh, sorry, you just stepped on my foot. I'm so sorry." You know, that kind of thing we have sometimes to be generalized about it. And it was very freeing. So yeah, that was less advice. That was more an augmenting for a kind of experience, a creative experience. And it really, really freed me.
No, that was a beautiful answer, and I appreciate you telling me that story. Dude, I love our conversations, and I call them
Likewise.
conversations because they don't feel like just a press junket. And I just want to say I appreciate you, man. Always
You're so welcome. I love it too. So thank you. Bring on the next.
good to
Thank
see
you.
you, buddy. See you
Bye
soon.
now.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.